I left no ring with that girl. What does this lady mean? One question I get all the time is how precise do I have to be with the text that I'm working on? Does it really matter if I change a few words here or there? Do I have to be word perfect? Within StageMilk, I get to talk with many of the best playwrights, screenwriters, teachers, casting directors, and actors from across the industry. And I now have a resounding answer to this question, which is yes, absolutely, 100% yes, kind of. So my first point is that we should always aim to be word perfect. The reality is this is not always going to be possible. Maybe you have 24 hours to learn 20 pages of dialogue, and you're going to probably paraphrase a little bit. Or maybe you just make a good old-fashioned blunder here and there. It happens. But I think we have to remember that our role as actors is to bring stories to life. Stories written by playwrights and screenwriters. As Larry Moss would say, there is no greater relationship than that of actor and writer. When it truly works, it's incredible. And when does it really work? When we both respect each other. And what is more disrespectful than to say to a writer, I can write better than you, and start mucking around with their words. These are the words the writer has given you. And as hard as they may sometimes be to speak in a fluent, natural, and truthful way, we must endeavor to do so. However, let's get into some of the grey. I want to stand firm on my first point, but I also want to share a really good standard rule when it comes to this question. The better the writer, the more word perfect you have to be. If you mess up even a syllable of Shakespeare, a discerning audience member will know. However, if you're doing a local student film or a small commercial casting, and you're already kind of picking your way through a couple of typos, you may have a little more freedom to play. And this may even be encouraged. So, I've now shared my golden rule: the better the writer, the more precise you have to be. But where else can we explore being a little bit looser with the text? Well, first of all, an interesting area is within auditions. Auditions should be a playful environment where we work collaboratively with the director or the casting director. I don't recommend going into an audition and start mucking around with the script or rewriting it on your first read. But if you have an idea and it feels like it suits the tone of the production, you definitely can be playful here. You just have to get really good at reading the room. In auditions, all the same rules apply as I've talked about already. But you know, I've interviewed a number of casting directors over the years, and a lot of them really encourage being quite playful and using improvisation and ad-libbing with the script quite a bit. So if it feels right and you feel it supports the character and it could work and you feel that, you know, it's the right space in the room, then absolutely give it a go. Next is the world of comedy. This is where we can have a lot of freedom to play, and again, it's often encouraged. Don't start messing around with Moliere, but if you're on set of a production like The Office or Parks and Rec or anything in that tone, you actually have a lot of license to play and to offer choices, and your ability to improvise is not only important, it's vital for you sticking around on that set. Finally, even outside of comedy, scripts aren't always set in stone. There are plenty of directors who encourage ad-lib and improvisation in their work. In fact, there are entire films that are improvised. The famous example here is British director Mike Leigh, who uses loads of improvisation in his films. It's always good to kind of have that conversation, I guess, with the director if you think this will be an element of your work. And you can always put ideas forward, and it just depends on the script that you're working on. So if you are going to add stuff in or you are going to be playful, keep up the conversation, keep up the communication. And if there is something that you really want to add in, I was interviewing Jack Thompson yesterday, who's a very successful, very well-known actor. And he was telling an example of he was researching a real-life character, and he was listening to some of these audio tapes, and he was doing a film with Clint Eastwood at the time, and he went up to Clint Eastwood and said, I really want to put this line back in because I think it really helps bring the character to life. And Clint said, yeah, let's do it. So he came with a choice, and he actually got that change into the script. So, you know, even outside of sort of playing with the script, if there's something you love and want to put in there, then just have that conversation with the director. We as actors must always aim to honor the work of the writer, however bad those words may be. And if we're working on the greats, we must be even more diligent. However, there are plenty of times where bringing your own creativity and augmenting the script might even be the reason that you book the job. At the end of the day, you have to understand the tone of the production. If you have an impulse and you feel it will be supported, go for it. Though in general, I don't really encourage this. Again, I think you have to honor the script, but if you want to make those changes, I guess yes, trust those impulses, but we don't want to make a habit of it. Now there we go. I hope I have finally helped answer that question. I get it all the time, so I hope that has made sense, gives you a lot to think about. If you've enjoyed this video, smash that like button. It really helps us get the word out there to more actors. And also, if you're feeling really crazy today, give us a subscribe as well. That'd be awesome. And yeah, we'll talk again very soon. Cheers.